Well, good morning. Good morning. It is 9 o'clock here to see what we got going in the market this morning. It is a fancy Tuesday here in Jacksonville. It is 65 degrees and cloudy, very bright and nice outside. You see, I don't have on my jacket today, but I have my jacket with me because some days I don't have my jacket. And then the time passes and it gets cooler and cooler. And I'm like, where, oh, where is my jacket? That's what I say. Where, oh, where is my jacket? I get a little cooler these days. Um, so I sometimes be looking for my jacket, looking around for just a little something to throw over my shoulders, as they say. Trying to see where we are on here. And there we are. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Tanya. Good deal. Let's go look and see what happened yesterday and then what we can get going for today. It's like my shirt's all cattywampus. You don't, it's not till you see yourself on the camera that you start adjusting. Need to get adjusted. Yeah, that's what we do. Okay, so speaking of adjusting, let's adjust ourselves to what happened yesterday. Let me turn on, I should be live. Ourselves to what happened. There we go. Okay, I can see the chat. You can see the chat that way. Oops. That way, I can see comments and stuff. So good morning again. Let's see what's going. It's Tuesday, March the 5th here. Target pops amid earnings beat. CEO vows return to growth. I told you all I had a target trade that I turned off a little too early. I probably should have left it on to see let's see where target is this morning on, can turn this into a onesie. Target, is this target? Nope, it's not target. That was SPX. Target made a run. I could have got a few more dollars off my target trade, but I closed it early. I closed it up. Maybe we get a little bit of opportunity for the momentum with momentum today. So keep target, target momentum might be worth taking a look at today. Okay. Hey, Asleen, how you doing? How are you doing? Looks like it. Oh, anyway. Okay, I will get sidetracked. Don't want to do that. Target had a good pop in earning. This is the only FOMO trade worth chasing. Don't know what they're talking about there. Apple iPhone sales plunge 24% in China. Listen, China has some really good Apple alternatives. That Huawei phone and the Xiaomi, both of those are very strong contenders. I mean, they've got a lot of good stuff happening with Huawei and Xiaomi. And those are products that are very readily available and at a better price when you're in China. I know this because I used to live over there and I had a Xiaomi for a while and I had a Huawei for a while. And I mean, we were using the finger to unlock Xiaomi's and Huawei's back in, I left China in what, 2018. So that's now 5, 6 years ago. And some phones here just got to the finger touch technology. Anyway, I'm not trying to tout phones or who's better. I'm just letting you know that there's some good competitors there that are not able to sell over here. When I say over here, I mean in the US. Bitcoin rally will extend to the summer and beyond. One thing I think is interesting is Bitcoin is running, but the mining stocks like Mara and Riot and BTBT, some of these other CleanSpark, some of these others aren't moving at the same pace. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't really follow the ETFs. I probably should put my, eye on what's going on with some of these ETFs, but I don't see the mining stocks really keeping up very well with the Bitcoin as it's growing. Okay, Yahoo gives us a little bit of look over here. These are recent things that I've looked at, so they keep track of what you've seen before. Looks like Tesla's down just a bit this morning. Okay, let's move on. Yesterday, not yesterday. We'll talk about earnings here in a minute. Our pre-market, we've got Dow. Basically, everything's red this morning. Y'all can see that everything is red this morning. Dow futures down 0.37%. S&P futures down 0.42%. Nasdaq futures down 0.68. Oil is red. So are the 10-year bond. Stock futures slip after Nasdaq composite retreats from the record. Okay, if we're looking at what's over in Europe, European markets are lower as sentiment struggle ahead of ECB meeting. It's basically a 60-40 split over here with 60% being red and 40% being green. And even this FTSE is like barely green, 0.03%, right? Let's see what's over in Asia. China stocks hit over 3-month highs as Beijing targets 5% GDP growth. Hong Kong slides 2.5%. So we've got mostly red over in Asia. The Nikkei is barely red, but like the Hang Seng, which is the Hong Kong index, is down 2.6%. That's pretty significant. Shanghai though is up 0.28%. Okay, it's up 0.28%. Looking at our meetings for today, right? Let me make this a little bit bigger for us to see. We've got final services and ISM services PMI showing up at 9:45 and 10 o'clock respectively. Factory orders month over month is at 10 o'clock. TIP economic optimism is tentative. FOMC member Barr is speaking twice today, 12 o'clock and 3:30. Both of those are showing yellow folders. Now, what we want to look at, this is not today, but I want you to keep in mind that tomorrow Powell is going to speak at 10 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow he's going to testify, not he's speaking, he's testifying at this particular thing. I think we talked about it on Sunday. He's going to testify. Let me refresh. Semi-annual monetary policy report before the House Financial Services Committee. He'll be in Washington, D.C. Tomorrow morning, and he'll also be there on Thursday. He's talking tomorrow morning, or testifying tomorrow morning at 10, and he's testifying again Thursday morning at 10 also. I think he's done after those 2 days, but notice those are red folders because I think he has like a prepared speech and then he has to answer questions. So sometimes that gets a little hairy. We also have JOLTS job openings tomorrow and the ADP non-farm employment change. All those are happening in the morning tomorrow, red folders. And then it's, I dare not say smooth sailing after that because nothing's ever smooth sailing. No, the S&P yesterday closed at 5130. We're above the 5100 and holding steady. Let's see what we got going over here. This was yesterday. I'll put us on a 15-minute chart. The 4th was here, May the 4th, March the 4th. I actually meant to put a post out that talked about March 4th, but I didn't. It was on my mind when I woke up and somehow it slipped my mind after I was awake and on my feet. But anyway, SPX yesterday ran up. Let me put it on a little, let me get our little candles a little bit bigger. Basically, we broke out of our first 15-minute chart right in the second candle, pulled back in a little bit, up a little bit, pull back up a little bit and pull back. But by the end of the day, this big old candle out here at 230 took us right into the resistance zone here, took us right into resistance and pulled us back right at 315. And we pulled back about, let's see, what the high was 51.49 and we closed at 51.30. So this is like a 20-point pullback in the last 45 minutes of the day. Classic SPX. Those of us who trade SPX on a daily basis have to always be mindful of power hour. Power hour. Once the market picks a direction that it's going to go in power hour, it's pretty much going to ride that direction. That's just, again, nothing I ever say is financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. Hey, Adrian. But I want you to just know that I've watched it enough times to know that when we get in the power hour, if it's pushing one direction, it's probably going to push that direction for the duration. It might hit and slow down, but it's pretty much going to keep it pushing. It actually, the S&P though, did pull itself right back into a support zone. So if you see these candles here, we got some support and it pulled right back into that zone. But there was a negative change of character, which means it may be going down a little bit more. I have to see. Let's put on the daily chart and see what happens there. This was yesterday's candle. Y'all see that doji? This thing looks, I don't know if I've ever seen this whole upward pointing. I mean, the open and the close price are basically the same, which is, uh, I hesitate to call it manipulation, but it's probably manipulation. Why would such a big monster open and close at the very same place? Anybody got any comments? Tamar, hey honey. It opened and closed at the very we took a nice little ride up, 50, 51.49 told you was the high of yesterday, and then it pulled right on back to where it opened. Hmm, how do it know? My daughter says QTNA, questions that need answers. Yeah, QTNA. Okay. So this was yesterday. If this is indecision at its finest, there really was a lot of buying that happened, but a lot of the sellers, the bears put it right on back down. It was like there's a lot of selling pressure. So we have to, this remains to be seen. How it is to play out for today. We'll have to wait and see. Gotta wait and see what happens today. Let's look at some earnings. Look at some earnings. Yesterday after the market closed, we had JitLab, SimRush, Paymentus, EOS, SAIC, Stitch Fix, Nectar. These are people I haven't really ever heard of. This morning though, we had Neo. I didn't hear Neo mentioned in any of the anything that we talked about though. Target had earnings this morning. Cipher Mining, another mining company, had earnings this morning. Compugen, Series, Vivid Seats, New Wellness, Global Business Travel. That looks like like American Express symbol. Maybe it's called Global Business Travel. Anyway, after market today, we're going to have CrowdStrike and ChargePoint. Ross is going to have earnings today. Couchbase, Box, Nordstrom. Some of these I don't even know who they are, but CrowdStrike, ChargePoint, Ross. Those are probably CrowdStrike is being anticipated. Tomorrow morning before the market opens, we've got Abercrombie& and Fitch, JD.com, Foot Locker, EVgo, Camels, and then some other people. Now, Abercrombie& and Fitch, like I told you, yeah, QTNA. My daughter loves to say that, QTNA. Abercrombie& and Fitch is something that should be worth looking at. Maybe I'll go take a quick peek at Abercrombie& and Fitch, see what they looking like. Nope, not you. Where is, oh, there you are. I gotta turn that off. Sorry, y'all. I didn't turn off the. Mm, okay, maybe we are there. Okay, so let's look at ANF. Abercrombie and Fitch had a big day yesterday. This was their day yesterday, leading into this is all leading into earnings. They had a little resistance here at 126, and then last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they had some more green and ran on up some more yesterday, real strong. They're going to have earnings tomorrow morning before market opens. So, trade accordingly. That's what I'll say with that. Trade accordingly. They are at the top of a resistance zone, so it's kind of a weak high, but um, keep that in mind as you're trading Abercrombie and Fitch leading into earnings. If you're an earnings trader, some folks are earnings traders, right? If you're not, wait till the day after earnings and trade it as a trade the momentum of the next day. I actually put a video out last week or uploaded, not sure how you're supposed to phrase it. I actually uploaded a video last week that talked about how to trade earnings. Where is it? Trading earnings for beginners. There's a video here, trading earnings for beginners. Let me grab the copy of this and then we can put it into the comments. But yeah, I did a top-down stock analysis if you're interested in that, and then how to trade earnings as a beginner. There's 3 steps that you can use to trade earnings if you really just want to trade them. So there's that. Okay, let's go back to Abercrombie and Fitch, which is who I was mentioning about their earnings. Then I want to go back to, let me go back and add our talk about our numbers for today on SPX, SPY, XSP. SPY is not exactly, it does move very similar, but you want to, the movement is what you're looking at. SPY is going to move along with SPX and XSP. So if you're trading them as sellers, here's your information. If you're hanging out with me, please go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel, right? Pass the word to your trader friends that we're here every single morning, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:25, and Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock, right? Pass the word, if you will. All right. Adam Mancini. Adam Mancini is on Twitter. You can see these things for free. I'm not taking any credit, but I do think his numbers are generally spot on. He also offers a newsletter where he gives a whole lot more involved technical analysis, and I found it to be very on point. So I mean, but this is what he puts out on Twitter. He does ES though, and we do SPX. So I take and look at the gap between those two because generally there's a gap between those two, and then we reform this graphic to include the SPX numbers, not the ES numbers. Okay. After the Friday rally, it was time for the Monday, Tuesday hangover effect in SPX, and it's underway. Like the last 5 weeks, 51.27 had to fail to dip as posted, and it did overnight. So if you're looking SPX, you can look at SPX 500 if you want to see that, right? Let me put this note down here. That is the trading earnings video I uploaded. Okay, so the plan, the bears control if we're less than 51.18 to 20, 51.03, 50.95. 50.95 I think is the main one, but the bears are in control all the way under 51.20. Basically the bears are in control. Major necks down, you got some steps. These are level to level. I told before about how we're level to level trader. He is a level to level trader. These levels are the ones that he has documented as supports and resistance. Hey Patrick. um it says we rally if 51.18 or 51.20 reclaims, and then we can go back to 51.29 plus. Okay. So if you're trading XSP, you want to look at 51.13 as your call strike potentially, and 509 as your put strike. And that's if you're doing it as a seller. Remember, I coach sellers. So we're looking for places where the price is not going. Right? We're looking for a place where the price is not going. So maybe 513 down to 509. This is where you can maybe find your zones. So that way you can do some put credit spreads and call credit spreads, right? We're looking for out of the money places. Out of the money. We want to be out of the money. Okay. So that's what's going on with that. Alrighty. This is a list of our put credit spreads. If you got into some stuff yesterday, put me a thumb up or put me a sticker in a sticker ticker. Put me a ticker, not a sticker. Put me a ticker in the into the comments, right? What did I don't think I got into anything yesterday. Yesterday I was earning my money on the educator side. Y'all know I teach college, and I have my pre-calculus students have a test coming up this week. So I was getting prepared to get them prepared for their test. So that's what I was doing yesterday, as well as teaching. I teach 2 classes on Monday and Wednesdays. So I was focused on that yesterday. But if you got into one of these trades, put something in here. Oh, I do see XLE, XOM showed up. All right, Tanya. XLE, XOM. XOM has been, let me see if we can see what's on XOM. I need to add us to the stage, though. Add to the stage. Come on. There we go. See what XOM did yesterday. Did you do a put credit spread or call credit spread? Like it dipped. It definitely dropped back from this. It pulled back up from this. Went right on through that gap that was here. This was a gap that we identified from the other day. And XOM came right back down and closed it up. But it's still, even though it's back up here, still in the bullish direction at this point. So put credit spreads XLE, XOM, pull back a little bit to fill the gap. XLE kind of looks the same. XLE kind of looks the same as that XOM looked. It went and filled its gap too. Well, energy, that makes sense though, right? Because energy would include fuel and XOM is petroleum. So it would kind of make sense that these two charts would look the same, right? XLE, good job. Let's go see what's on Google. Google, they're like it didn't want to do right. Yeah, I get want to do. As Lean said, she did XOM in Google. I see Google. Google may be going. I hope you got a call credit spread on Google because it seems like it wants to be going in the downward direction. Our moving averages are all kind of pointing down, and it's kind of doing some stuff. So if you have a put credit spread, though, just want to keep in mind it's coming into the 200 period moving average, which will provide some support, which it did. If you see this here, how it bounced and hit this and kind of closed higher. You want to keep that in mind. The pre-market though is at 132, so it's actually down a couple dollars even in the pre-market. Okay, Google call credit spread. Good job. Good job. Good job. Look at my people. I love it. Doing what we doing. Yes. Where was I going next? Oh, I was going back to adding to the stage. Okay. Got lots of opportunities here. Taiwan Semiconductors is here. I think all the SMH I think ran up and they've all kind of hit a resistance area and started to pull back as well. So you want to obviously you want to keep your eyes on the prizes. Okay, keep your eyes on the prizes. Our options 411 for newbie 3 day challenge is coming up starting next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This graphic needs to say 7 o'clock, not 6 o'clock. Okay, I need to take this off because that will bother me. That will bother me. I changed this graphic. Why did it not fix it? Because it's 7 o'clock. I don't want anybody coming back later going, you said 6 o'clock on that graphic. Yep, I know. Let me go and fix it though. I need to fix it. Present slides that way in the future it won't be wrong. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. That's what they used to say. I don't know though. If loving you is wrong, I think I'm fine with it being with not. Okay. Oh, now I need to. Now it's covering up the stuff behind it. Anyway, register at Oh my goodness, Alyssa, such a funny girl you are. You have to laugh at yourself. In case you didn't know this, you have to laugh at yourself. No, y'all can't even see myself back on the screen, I think. Where am I? Okay. Fix it. Oop. Feel like if somebody is wrong, I'd probably be better off just to leave it alone because it may cause additional issues that are not going to be good. There we are. Now we got it. Got it back to the right. Okay, options 411 for newbies 3 day challenge is March the 13th to the 15th. Go ahead and get yourself registered if you're going to hang out with us for that. It's $97. And I am providing $27 back for every person you invite and they register. You invite them and they register. I'll give you $27 back. So even if you don't need it per se, then pass the word. We're in the business of, caring is sharing. Sharing is caring. Yeah. Sharing is caring. The E2T membership is still going. We have all the goodies, morning calls, weekly training calls. We've got monthly coaching calls. We've got Telegram groups where we kind of trade together and hang out together. And if you're in the membership, you get access to all the stuff I do. So every challenge I do, everything, you're automatically included in those things for no extra charge. So that's the E2T membership, and it's $97 a month. So if you're going to pay the $97 to join the challenge, you might as well pay the $97 and join the membership and then have access to other subsequent things, right? You might as well. Might as well. Also, we got the option sellers course bundle. I don't really talk about this bundle very much, but it is a place where all of my goodies are in one place. You can get all the goodies at one time. And I have this as 5.97 is the what it's now for 4.97, but actually it's worth more than 5.97. I need to adjust that much more than 5.97. But here we go. I do got jokes this morning. Y'all know I'm a morning person, so I can roll with it in the morning with no questions. I can roll in the morning with no questions at all. Okay, did we have anything else we were gonna look at as far as stocks this morning? Feel like I had something else I wanted to look at. We got the SPY is still moving up, but it's in some resistance with oh, I know where I wanted to go. SMH is where I wanted to go. Another one just yesterday, it hit its top and said, I would think I'll pull back as well. Pull right on back. Did I put that? I didn't put that there. That's a fair value gap. I did not put that there. So it's for those of you who understand fair value gaps, that's what that is. Okay. Which will provide, the middle of it will provide some support. I wanted to look to it. SOXL, this is where I wanted to go. SOXL, several of these looking the same. Y'all look, these charts looking the same. Okay, give me a line. Okay, give me a line. There we go. I kind of want to change that color, but I'm going to leave it like it is. Okay. Several of the semiconductor things yesterday basically ran up to a spot and they hit the top of this resistance and they all pulled back. Right? That doesn't mean they won't, test it again or won't go for it again, but so far they've gone and they've pulled back from it. All right. So you want to definitely keep in mind when you're looking to see what kind of trade you want to put on for the day. This shows Target yesterday had a green at a red. Target had a red day yesterday, and its earnings, it's green. So if we look at it in the pre-market, we see we've got, this is what it's been doing since market close. This is the close. Wait, y'all say y'all like it when it's dark. Sometimes I can't see these shades to see what's actually going on. But anyway, this was the post market. Then this morning they had earnings. This is pre-market. And this is Target we're looking at here. Target, all the moving averages have fanned out, and it is like, let's go, let's go, let's go. The market's getting ready to open in a couple of minutes. As sellers, we don't need to necessarily jump in. You can watch what's happening, watch the jump ins, and watch what kind of happens at the beginning. But as a buyer, if you're buying options, you may want to take a look at what kind of things you can jump in on and see what's what. As a seller, wait till things calm down just a bit, find you a zone, and go with it. Now, if you with Target, for example, this is not trading advice, but I'm going to say if you're looking at Target, let me go see what we got here. In I think yep, it's open. Am I sharing my screen? I should be. Let's go look and see if you want to maybe hop in on a little bit of Target volatility. Again, not investment advice. Not financial advice. I'm just looking at some stuff and you can look along with me. But if we're looking at Target and you're looking at the pre-market, it is at 165 right now. That's a 6. Yes, it's at 165. Right? So you may look to see what could be a good put credit spread, because if you believe price is going to continue to go up or at least stay up above your strike, and we got the plus minus of 11 for the week. And that's because the volatility is very high on it because we just had earnings, right? So if you want to go down 11, you can go down 11 from this price, from close price, or you can go down 11 from current price, which puts you like at 160. So if you want to look at 160, we're looking at the probability out of the money. Market needs to open, which it will in just, we're going to have a ding, ding, ding in about, 56 seconds. And we're going to see these probability out of the money numbers are going to adjust. If you want to go down 11 from 150, that puts you down at 140. Okay. 140 is at 84% probability out of the money, but that's probably not going to have much in the premiums, in the area of premiums. If you want to go down to 160 though, It's 51% now. Again, the market's getting ready to open, so these numbers will change. That may provide you better premiums. I'm going to switch us over to verticals so we can see what's happening at 140. Now, if you're down in the 140 to 150, these are one spreads, so you're only going to have to leverage $100 of collateral. After you pass 150, which is where current price is right now, you're now going to be at a 2.5 spread. Okay, so keep that in mind. 2.5 spread is $250 of collateral. One spread is $100 of collateral. This is how you could potentially trade the momentum of Target coming out. But just know the bell just rang. Just know too, though, that if it popped up like it did, there may have been some people who were buying, who had shares or had an option, who are going to close their shares back off. So there may be some pullback with people who will go and take profits, right? Let's take us down to a shorter period of time. People may start taking profits, so that may cause some pullback. Okay, this is where Target is right now. Let me change this to a finger so I can maneuver and manipulate. Not sure if y'all can see all this. Let me get it a little bit bigger. Here we go. This is where we are on Target. Now, so if we went, it's at 167. Let's go look at I'm going to take us back to the single chart so we can look at our probability out of the money. 70% probability out of the money is like at 147, 148, right? We have a plus minus 12 on it for the end of the week. Taking 12 away from 166 puts us at 154, 155, somewhere in there, right? So if you wanted to be in this zone, that's about that changed drastically. 162.5 is a 60. So if you wanted to go with 160, which is what I was just kind of mentioning a second ago, you could go with 157.5, 160. At this point, that's paying $30, which is more than a 10%. Remember, I always talk about getting 10% return on your montees, right? If you want to be in here, remember our steps. You look at the probability of the money on the single, see if you're okay with these strikes, pick you a place you like that suits your sensibilities, right? You also want to look at the chart. We don't do anything without checking the chart. So if we go to the daily chart, we see there's a big old gap now that has been formed from earnings. This was yesterday's close. Actually, it closed way down here at 150, and now it's up at the 160, right? So this is a huge gap that will want to be filled at some point in the future. Will it happen today? Never can tell. Never can tell. Help me, Shell. Never can tell if it's going to close it today or not, but you just know there's a gap here because it gapped up for earnings. Righty? Okay, you may be able to ride the momentum, stay above maybe the 150, since this is where it closed yesterday, or above the top of this. Actually, this would be resistance. Now support would be in the 155 area. So if you wanted to use 155 as your support, go with that trade. You actually could go a little higher if you're feeling a little more froggy, up to 160. Right? Remember, this is 2.5 up in this area, though. If you go further away, then when you go to like 149, 150, see, there's no money down there for premiums. There's no money at this point. So if you want to pull some premiums off of it for this Friday, you're gonna have to get a little closer. Maybe 150, which is paying nothing, or you can do the 155. I think I said was the support. It's $11 now it's paying, or 160. If you like the strike but don't like the money, put in the strike and put in the money you want. If you like the strike but don't like the money, pick the strikes, put in the money you want, and let the trade just sit and work. That way, if price comes down, it may get to where the premiums are worth what you're looking for. All right, that's how you do that. That's how you do that. All righty. Might be one opportunity. Target, might want to look at that for however you're trading. If you're trading as a seller, if you're trading as a buyer, potential opportunity. Okay, let's wrap it up so I can go on and be ready to teach the masses. Our E2T declaration. Yes, our declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My accounts grow more and more each week. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Our prayer, Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. You teach our hands to war and our fingers to fight with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen. As I've said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel or liked and subscribed, please go ahead and do so, right? Hang out with us in the membership. You've got the challenges coming up, the options 411. If you know folks who just want to learn how to trade options and they don't know right now, tell them about us. Tell them about us. This the whole objective of what we do here is to teach more and more people how we can get our money out of the market. We don't have to get it out of the mud. And there's so many different ways to get money out of the market. Right, an option buyer, option seller, long-term investor, buying and selling shares. There's so many ways. The REITs, dividend stocks. I mean, there's so many ways to get money. Some of them are very passive. Some of them are very active. Hang out with us. I'll share with you both of them. All right. So we do two things in this community. We stay green and we get this money. I want y'all to have a great green day, okay? And I will see you in the market. Goodbye, everyone. Bye bye.